everybody, welcome to Push the Edge. I'm Lee Hall, and on this channel we talk about all things related to travel, hiking, and general adventure. And right now we're in the middle of talking about a Grand Canyon rim-to-rim hike in a day. And what I want to do in this video is talk to you about how I'm getting through it, right? The logistics of it all, how it's getting handled, okay? So if you watched one of my previous videos, you might have picked up on the fact that thinking about the logistics of it, right? Getting to and from, right, the trailhead, thinking about spending the night, making lodging arrangements, all of that stuff, that for whatever reason was a little overwhelming for me, right? It was something that I just didn't want to have to deal with. And I also was really worried about doing the hike, you know, either by myself or with a friend, because I don't really have any friends that have this level of hiking experience, right? I've got friends that hike, but not at this level, and I don't have that kind of hiking experience. So what I decided to do, and I'm doing this hike with my brother, is I'm going to be using a guided tour. Okay, so really, if you're interested in doing this hike, an important decision is not, in addition to obviously the training that you have to do, is thinking about how are you going to get from end to end. Right? How are you going to make that happen? And so I looked into guided tours and I ended up booking with K2 Adventures. Now, I want to be upfront with you and say this is not a sponsored post or sponsored video. I've actually paid K2 Adventures the full amount to take me on this hike that is coming up in fall of 2022. And what I want to do here is just, share what I found and what I think looks like it's going to be an amazing company, amazing time, and well worth the money that I put out, which honestly, I feel like I'm getting away with a bargain for what they charge and what I'm getting. So I want to take you to their website and show you what it is that they will do if you're interested in a rim-to-rim hike and you decide to book with them. So let's go take a look. All right, so you can see I am on the K2 Adventure travel page. I will put a link to this page in the show notes in case you want to access it. And they've got a number of places that they go to. I will click on the Grand Canyon and we will go check this out. All right, so this gives you an overview, right, of what to expect. I mean, you can go and check this out if you're interested. I'm not gonna go through all that, but it gives you a general overview of what the trip is. And you can see it's $995. I think they use Stripe to process the payment. If I remember correctly, right, there's an extra fee for that. So it came in a little over $1,000. So let's take a look at the trip details. Maybe if my computer will go there, we'll take a look at the trip details. Okay, so you'll see it's 3 days. So the way that it works is it is a one-day hike, but you're gonna need to set aside 3 days. So the way that it works is you meet up on a Friday and they drive you to the Grand Canyon from Phoenix. So you meet up in Phoenix, drive to the Grand Canyon. There is a stop somewhere along the way for provisionals, I think in Flagstaff. You spend the night, you get up on very early on Saturday morning, and I think the shuttle leaves at 4. They take you to the trailhead, you do the hike, you come out the other side, you spend the night, and then Sunday they take you back to Phoenix. Okay, so that's the rundown. Now, honestly, for $995, I'm great with that, okay? I am absolutely great with that because somebody's driving me to and from the Grand Canyon. They're getting me in and out. It's got, it's including 2 days, right, of lodging, right, Friday night and Saturday night. Obviously, like I'm going to fly in probably like on a Wednesday and just take an extra day. Obviously, I'm responsible for those days. Obviously, if I decide to spend the night Saturday night, which I don't know yet, or I'm sorry, Sunday night, which I don't know if I'll do that. I may fly out Sunday evening. I may fly out Monday, but obviously that's on me. And you are responsible for most of your food. So they do provide, I think, snacks when you're on the shuttle going to and from Phoenix. And I know that they have stuff for breakfast when you're going from your Saturday morning when you're going to the trailhead. They have stuff for breakfast on there, like bagels, cream cheese, bananas, I think peanut butter, bread, that sort of a thing. So, okay. Oh yeah, and once you pay it, it's non-refundable. Okay, so I've paid it, I'm in. My brother's paid it, he's in. We're definitely doing it. And you can see here for 2022, there's 3 dates there. There were 4 originally, when I first looked into this. So it's probably most likely possible that first date has sold out. So there are 2 in May and 2 in September, and that's it. And they do custom dates, it says upon request. And if you have any questions, like I had questions, I wanted to know things like how many people are on the trip, how many guides, that sort of a thing. And I can't remember that off the top of my head, but it's somewhere around 20 to 25 people. And I want to say, 4 to 6 guides. I can't remember exactly, but, anyways, they're very responsive with email, super responsive. So we're going to go over, right, like the packing list and training plan and all of that in separate video. We can I'll see if we take a look at the itinerary, but anyways, so sorry, I do not know what my problem is with speaking today, but apparently I'm just not that fluid today when I'm talking. Okay, so here's what you can expect, right? 25.5 miles of a hike, right? Non-technical hiking in one day. I get different mileage counts on this hike. I get 23.9, I get 24. This one says 25.5, right? Different sources say different things, okay? So that's what they're saying it is, 25.5. You have wilderness first responder guides, which is very important to me. And you got the round trip luxury private bus from Phoenix, which is nice. Like, I do like that somebody's taking care of getting my butt to and from the trailhead. But honestly, right, like those are kind of like just vomit shuttles to me. Like, I always get sick on them. I always have to bring something, right, so that I don't get sick on them. So, I don't really get a lot of pleasure on a luxury private bus. You get all accommodations, double occupancy for Friday night and Saturday night. The private bus. You get breakfast on day 2, snacks. It says as listed in the itinerary, but I think that's just maybe they have snacks on the bus. I'm not really that positive about it. You get the wilderness first responder guides, and obviously, right, they cover your fees. So let me come back here. This is what you get for, a little over $1,000. That's great, right? Not to mention somebody's handling this, right? Somebody's paying attention to me. Somebody is, and when I say paying attention to me, right, I mean just making sure that I'm not like tanking and getting ready to have a health issue. I don't need somebody to like pay attention to me all the time. You've got people who know this trail, right? They know this trail. So, in reading up on this, one of the things that I learned is, right, there's certain points on the trail where you want to make sure that by a certain time you're through it. And it could be, right, just to make sure that you're making good time so you're out in a reasonable hour. Could also be because, right, it's going to get really hot in that particular spot later on in the day and you don't want to be there for that. So they know all that. Excuse me. They know all that. They've been doing it for I don't know how long. And so they know how to move people through that. So that's really reassuring to me, right? I really feel good about that. So I feel like for $1,000, I really feel like I'm getting my money's worth there. Travel, medical, and evacuation insurance not included. I did pay like $200, maybe a little more than $200 to get that extra insurance just in case I needed to be evacuated. I'm not expecting that, but that's just one of those things where, and I partly felt like I was throwing my money down the toilet, and partly was like, what if something happens, right? Then I'm not going to be throwing my money down the toilet. Then I'm going to be really glad I have this, right? I was a little anxious. I just bought it. Obviously, personal gear, you're responsible for that. We're going to do a separate video talking about, right, the gear that they say you have to have and the gear that they recommend. And then I'll tell you about like what I have purchased and been using and how that's been going for me. Right, obviously single occupancy you can have. It's an extra fee. I'm going with my brother. We're going to share a room. Water, snacks, and meals not listed in the itinerary. So really, they just include, right, that breakfast when you're going to the trailhead and maybe some snacks on the bus. But honestly, right, like I don't want them to be giving me snacks on the trail, right? Unless, I'm having some kind of a, emergency, I'm tanking, I don't know, I need something. And they're like, hey, we have this is good. You need to take it, right, to get back to feeling normal. I'm okay with that. But in general, I know kind of how I function. I've been playing around with what kind of snacks works for me when I'm doing long extended hikes. I have things I like, I have things I don't like, right? And I'm going to be sharing all of that with you as well. So I want to bring my own stuff, right, that I know works for me, that has a good history of working for me. Okay. So really that's that. We'll do a separate video about the rim to rim itinerary, about the packing list. We'll be doing lots of videos on training and how you can prepare for something like this. But yeah, this is K2 Adventure Travel. And if you used them before, head on down to the comments. Let me know what you think. I would love to hear about your experiences.